we didn't take a break, but a little longer than we're supposed to. We had some personal things going on, but we're back in the multi-million-dollar studio. We're giving you guys our best bets for this weekend's fight night. Erin Blanchfield versus Manon Fiorot. How do you say it, Alex? The proper way?
I've been practicing this for a couple of days. Manon Fiorot. Yeah, Manon Fiorot. She's our French woman, our savior. She's our Joan of Arc. Manon Fiorot. That's all I have to say, really.
Yeah. I just wanted you to do it the proper way. So we're gonna get into that. Let's get into it.
Show me the money, huh? Show me the money.
All right, here we are. Another week of going 2-1, I believe.
Not bad.
I don't know who the loser was. I mean, they used to got talking right now. I don't know, but
no, not never.
Every time we're 2-1, it's me. I swear. So my
first, you're getting cut soon.
Kurt Hollabaugh?
Yeah. My pick for this weekend, I feel bad about it because, as some of you loyal listeners know, we are in the Charlotte area. Chris Weidman trains, in Fort Mill, which is like right outside of Charlotte. Even though he's a Serra-Longo guy, he does train a little bit here in the area. So I hate to go against our guy, Chris Weidman, but I truly think this fight is going to be a win by KO for Bruno Silva. If you look at his last 5 fights, he's 1-4, which is very surprising considering he lost to Alex Pereira by decision. And that was a close fight. It wasn't like he was getting pieced up the whole 3 rounds. It was a close competitive fight. And of course, Pereira's on top of the world right now. Then you have losses against like Giro Mearshart, Brennan Allen, Sharma Bullet in his last fight. Brennan Allen's a competitor. He's like a top 3 contender right now. But he also has a win against Brad Tavares by KO. Of course, that was Chris Weidman's last fight where he didn't do too well against Tavares. A lot of leg kicks affected that, which is unfortunate considering, I feel like if you're Brad Tavares and you fight Chris Weidman after a leg break, like you would think to attack the legs just because like that's probably a good strategy, but it's kind of like messed up in a way. Like you're bullying someone who's like shorter than you kind of deal. So I don't know, but he didn't impress me too much. So I think Bruno Silva should get this win. I'm going to go by KO, not just money line. I think KO is better odds, and it's likely to happen, unfortunately, as this is probably Chris Weidman's last fight. I wish they gave him a better fight, that rather than someone like, Bruno Silva, whose his hands are clean. So, like, I hate to see Weidman do that for his probably last fight. I wish they put him up against someone like, I don't know, like Brian Barberena. They train at the same gym, actually.
They're teammates.
But, but someone who's, like, older and, like, had the years of getting beat on a little bit. It's just not as fast and clean as Silva.
Yeah.
You could see him in public, Brad. If he sees this, you may run across him someday.
Yeah, we'll see if he's listen to our show. It'd be a good test to see if he watches or not.
You know what this reminds me of? When Frankie Edgar fought Chris Gutierrez or whatever it was on his retirement fight, and it was just like, of all people, like to feed him, and he got like hit with a flying knee, just so unceremonious. So I'm hoping against all hope for our picks. I hope it goes the way that you want it to go. But just for my heart, I hope it is like competitive. I hope he doesn't get steamrolled. I hope he makes a good showing. That's all. That's all.
Yeah. All right. So for my best bet, I feel a little bad about this one as well, but not as bad as if I picked against Chris Weidman. But I'm going with Joaquin Buckley beating Vicente Luque, and the money line's at -110 right now. I'm hoping that can get more in the favor of Joaquin Buckley if he becomes an underdog. But like I said, I feel a little bad about this because I am a fan of Vicente. I think his age is getting to him a little bit. He's coming off a win against RDA, but in my opinion, that's not a super impressive win. He did look okay in that. Before that, he did lose to Jeff Neal, where he got easily outstruck. And I think Joaquin Buckley can do the same thing. Buckley has a ton of momentum right now. He's coming off a good win against Morano, and then he had that crazy KO against Fiallo, or however you say his name. But he's also a teammate of Vicente Luque at Killcliff. So he has a lot of momentum coming into this, and He also looks a lot better at welterweight. So I looked it up. He's actually really 5'7", 5'8", but ESPN says 5'10". So he's fighting at that height at at middleweight. So I think his move to welterweight, he's had, like I said, so much more momentum, and he looks so much better, and his striking looks good. And in the past, Luque has struggled against southpaw. So I really think Buckley can come with the win in this one, and hoping that he can become more of an underdog, because I thought maybe he was when I had this pick. But I still like the pick, and I do feel a little bad about it, but I feel confident about it.
Who did you say was one of his last fights? Joaquin Buckley? I know Morano.
Morano, yeah.
Filio,
Alex Morano.
Andre.
Andre Fiallo.
Andre Fiallo.
Andre, the guy who got cut. He had like 5 losses in a row.
He wasn't bad either.
No, he had hands.
Yeah.
He just kept falling apart.
He just kept getting caught.
We're seeing people kind of getting cut. Brian Barberena just got let go too, which is really surprising. He's been a workhorse. I think he just got released just based on losses in a row.
They made a big cut recently. I think it was like 2 weeks ago, maybe.
Yeah. Jamie Pickett finally got cut.
Yeah.
That was needed.
I saw someone on a 4-fight win streak got cut, but then there's guys like Tuivasa who were on like a 4-fight losing streak who were not even close to getting cut.
Yeah. They cut the guy who was like barking and beat the Indian fighter.
Oh, Mike Breeden?
Yeah, Mike Breeden, yeah.
Man, that's sad that I knew that.
Yeah.
So
what's
the Indian guy? Doesn't the Indian guy have like his own YouTube show now? Anshul Jubli, doesn't he?
Oh yeah, Jubilee, yeah.
Like he sits in his gaming chair and like just like narrates stuff. That's awesome, Anshul. Let's do it, dude. I want to do a show where like there's like video footage of me going through my daily life, and Anshul Jubli just covers it and he like narrates my daily life. That'd be a great show. We'd get like maybe minus 10 watchers. So we're gonna go
as many as Spar Scene.
Exactly. Put you to shame with my viewers. I'm going to go straight to the main event on this one, and I'm going to tie the story in with what last week's main event was Amanda Hevish versus Rose Namajunas. So Rose is kind of coming up in the 125-pound division. Her last fight was against Manon Fiorot, and in that fight, we saw Manon's like one of the biggest fighters at 125. She's super tall, super rangy and long, but there's something that irritates me about fighters like her. Let me break this down for you guys. Anyone who's seen the show before has seen my hatred of Caitlin Chookagian. So Caitlin Chookagian and Manon Fiorot fought each other. Okay, now listen to some of these stats. Caitlin, now Terminara, congratulations on your marriage. 76 of 286 strikes thrown, 26% significant strikes out of those that were thrown. Manon Fiorot, 98 out of 279, 35% significant strikes. Manon was much more accurate, but guys, these are not shining metrics. This is kind of like when like people in karate make that sound to make it sound like they hit you or something, and the judges are like, "Did you hear that? Did you hear that impact? It was so stunning." But the thing is, like, they're kind of not even in the range of hitting each other. And I saw that against Rose. Rose was a little gun shy too, and plus her finger got broken in 3-4 places. So she started to put on the pressure in round 3, I want to say, and actually started to do a little bit better against Manon. Manon doesn't necessarily like to be pressured. She kind of gives me a little bit of that Edson Barboza feel where she starts galloping. So she's better at distance. Blanchfield is a destroyer. She's kind of like a female Khabib. She reminds me a little bit of Tatiana Suarez. She just comes after you, wrestles you, gets into the clinch. She does struggle a little bit when she gets to the clinch against the fence, but if she can get her doubles and singles together and start getting a little bit better with some takedowns, I think her body lock takedown is the thing that's lacking right now. But when she gets people to the ground, a lot of times it's a wrap, dude. Jessica Andrade, she was a good test. She did crack her a couple of times and she did okay. But she's, as long as Erin Blanchfield doesn't fall in love with her hands, I feel like it's going to be a rough first round. She's probably going to get pieced up a little bit. Then she's going to be able to slip in and start to close the distance and I think cause some problems. I think she's going to suffocate the space. We may see a submission, but Manon's really, really strong. I don't know if it's going to be easy to finish her. She might get run ragged in a decision, but her cardio's on point. She's conditioned. She's an older fighter, but she's super conditioned. So I think I'm taking Erin Blanchfield. in Atlantic City for money line minus 200. The wreck of what was once Atlantic City, which is now just so sad. It's broken down, much like mine and Chris Weidman's legs. Any injuries? we're run down a little bit. It's like a haunted carousel. But anything else on this card that?
Yeah, I was just looking. Erin Blanchfield, she's finished her last 5 fights. She's finished 3 by submission in the first 2 rounds. So she gets after it. She doesn't waste time and do what Jason Almeida does and just take your back and sit there for 5 rounds. No, she gets the finish. She'll finish you in within 2 rounds of her last few fights. So this being a 5-round fight, she's got plenty of time. I mean, you could see a finish here. I like the over based on the stats you said, but I think her submission's she gets after it, she gets the finish. So I think I don't know. I like your money line pick. Yeah, the money line pick's nice. I wouldn't go with the over under because that's gonna be
more guaranteed.
That plays out.
Yeah, I agree.
Just got a future.
Only thing I want to point out was the over or under of Herbert Burns getting carried off crying by his brother. That's all I want to know.
Oh,
he's a dog, though. He's a dog, though. And that's no disrespect to the Burns family. I am a huge Gilbert Burns fan. And if Herbert wins, that'd be awesome. But that's one of the fights I'm somewhat looking forward to in a funny way. He's a plus 350 underdog. So we'll see how that turns out.
I feel like I remember watching him before. He's quit in a few of his fights, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally on Tapology, his last loss is exhaustion from damage. So he literally quit.
Listen, I'm not going to hate because I would feel just as scared too. I would be in a lot of pain if someone was kicking me. I would be very upset. So I'm not going to hate. I'm not going to hate on you, Gilbert. I just feel bad with Gilbert, man. He was so close to that win, just a couple of weeks ago, dude. Last 30 seconds, bro.
I mean, you're black belt jiu-jitsu, probably the best jiu-jitsu guy in the UFC outside of Oliveira, and you can't stay on top of someone from what was he in half guard for another 30 seconds.
I mean, it's just slippery from the grease. Right as the grease.
Too. That one hurt. Burns, if you're watching this, we love you. We're big fans. And your brother, we love your brother too. We know you watch this. So.
It'll be all right. Bill Algeo versus Kyle Nelson is going to be a good fight too. That's probably a big fight of the night. A couple of old dogs. I think Algeo is the one that made Herbert Burns quit with the leg kicks. I have a feeling. I don't remember.
I think
if you guys remember, never mind. I'm not going to bring it up here. I won't out anybody that we know on the internet. I'm not going to dox anybody. Okay, have the FBI show up at their door, kick it open. Do you know the Spar Scene guys? No.
Man, that's funny. But that's a good card. I'm excited for this weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
it'll be in person, which will be cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No Apex
for a week.
Mm-hmm. Then we got one more fight night.
I think 2 more and then 300.
There's 2 more? Oh,
2 more.
Please
Apex,
tell me.
There's really Hold 2 on. More?
I believe there's 2 more than the Apex. Than the,
I can't do it
I don't know if I can do it.
Hold on. Okay.
No, it's one more.
Thank God. It's just one. So it's Allen
and Curtis too.
The rematch that we've all been dying for. Curtis versus Brendan Allen too. How can we live without just having that? Actually, you know what? There is a fight on that card. Ignacio Bahamondes. That guy is freaking crazy. He throws all these spinning kicks and stuff. He's fighting Giagos, Christian Giagos. That is a pretty decent fight, but otherwise it's a little lean, guys.
There's also Morgan Chabady. He's from France. He's a French guy from France. He I believe he was a Cage Warriors. Let me see if he was champ or not.
Oh yeah, 145.
Yeah, he was a Cage Warriors champ. He was Cage Warriors champ, and he's nasty, man. This is his second fight in the UFC. His first one by KO. He's a fun guy to watch. He's excited to see him fight. Yeah.
Speaking of Cage Warriors champions, we'll wrap on this, but Reese McKee is fighting this weekend against, oh my goodness, Chidi Njokuani. Chidi's he's in danger of getting the walking papers, and Reese McKee also this is put up or shut up time for both those guys because both of them have had hard intros into the UFC, and I it's been a longer time for Chitty. He's been here since like 2016, but we'll see. That one could be like win or go home. That's like the I Quit match between Ian Gary and Kobe. Are they going to be in a steel cage? And like Layla's got the belt, and you got to get the belt from Layla at the top of the ladder. Like, how are they going to do that?
Oh man, dude! I hope I hope that fight happens.
Me too.
Before we wrap this up, we forgot one thing. We're going a little over we usually do, but we didn't mention the Pleasure Man is on the prelim of this card. Our favorite fighter, Anton Turkalji, or I don't know. I just go by Pleasure Man.
Turkalji, I think. Yeah, is he? So he's opening fight.
I think he was, but they moved him.
Yeah, they've been shifting it around, but keep an eye on that. The Pleasure Man. I'm surprised none of you guys bet on him, dude. He's one of our favorites.
Bet on him? I bet against him. I won't bet on him.
Yeah.
He's one of our standbys.
It's like a pick'em fight, though. It's a close. Like, there's no favorite in that fight. It's a pick'em.
I can't live until I see Ovin St. Preux versus Pleasure Boy. that fight will be the best fight that ever happened. I can't wait.
Why OSP?
OSP because OSP is like the essence of like UFC cannery, like the factory where they send the horse feet when they turn you into glue when the horse is getting retired and he's ran too many races. But then they trot him out there as if he's going to lose. Then they brought him out last time. Look, he beat the guy. He ended up winning his back.
He's interesting. He's very interesting.
Yeah.
Super rangy, long.
He's like Herbert Burns.
It's either great or bust.
Yeah.
And this, folks, is why people watch the Spar Scene shows, because where else are you going to hear off the cuff comedy about OSP? Yeah. I mean, that's
the lore.
The lore,
the UFC lore. All right. Well, that pretty much does it for our best bets for this weekend. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, do the usual. Check out the Instagram, check out the Twitter, check out the TikTok. But yeah, we'll be back in like a couple of days talking about next week's fight night, and then the week after that's 300. So we're going to try to do a lot of stuff for that. So if you're watching this right now, make sure to subscribe to be ready for all that. So we'll see you guys next time. Peace.